Hello everyone. Today we are going to see how to connect to an Oracle database using AWS Lambda. As we have seen in one of the previous videos, we can download a corresponding Python library, create a layer out of it, and then use it in the Lambda functions. But in case of Oracle connectivity, we have to carry out few extra steps. So in today's video, we are going to see what those steps are and how to perform this connectivity. So let's go to the EC2 console and start the activity. So this is my EC2 console home page. Let's launch an instance. I'll choose the Amazon Linux 2 AMI, T2 micro type. Here I'll choose the spot instance to save some cost. And I will choose an IAM role which has access, which will provide an access to the S3 bucket for our instance so that we can upload the files we have downloaded. I'll keep the default storage. Here I will add the name of the instance. I'll choose the basic configuration or basic rules, SSH, HTTP, and HTTPS, and then I'll launch the instance. So I have one of the previous PEM files, so I'll use that. Let's check the instance. So we have our instance running. Let's get the IP address, the public IP address, and use it for connecting to the EC2 instance. Okay, so we are in the EC2 instance. Let's check the Python 3 version we have in the instance. So it is 3.7.10. So it is important that whatever version we have here, we have to use the same runtime when we create the Lambda function, and also when we create the Lambda layer. So now that we are into the EC2 instance, let's create the directory where we will install all our subdirectories or Python and other details. So let's start with the directory creation. I'll go to this directory. And inside this directory, we will create two more directories, one for Python and to keep the CX Oracle function directory, and another for Oracle client. So let's start that directory creation. Okay, so we have the two directories created. Now let's download the Python library into the Python directory. So we'll use pip3 install CX Oracle, and we have to download it within the Python. So I'll provide that directory name. Okay, so we have the contents downloaded. Now we'll go to the next step, which is downloading the Oracle client. For that, we have to use a URL from which we can get the content, and that for we will use the wget command, and we'll create a zip file on our machine or on EC2 instance with the name of Oracle client.zip. So let's copy this. Okay. So it has downloaded this Oracle zip file. Now we have to unzip this file and put the content into the lib directory. So we'll use unzip -j, then the file name, direct -d, and then the directory name. Okay, now we go to the lib directory. We can see the content downloaded here. Now, now the next step is to download the libaio directory, which is generally comes installed with the Amazon Linux 2 AMI. But still, to be sure, we will execute this command: sudo yum install libaio-y. So it says already installed. So we'll copy the file lib64 libaio.so.1 to our directory lib. And here we can see the file copied. So now we have created, now we have downloaded all the directories we need. So let's zip this content and upload it to the S3 bucket. So we'll use zip -y-r, then the file name which we want to create. So we'll say Oracle layer.zip, and then we'll provide the libraries which we want to zip. So first one is Python, and the second one is lib. Okay, so the zip file has been created, and we will upload this zip file to our S3 bucket. So we'll use the CLI command AWS S3 CP, the file name, and then we'll use the bucket path where we want to upload it. So I have it ready with me. And it is uploaded. So if we come to the S3 bucket and refresh the page, we can see the file created here. So let's use this file and create the layer out of it. So we'll go to the Lambda layer and create a layer. We'll provide a name, Oracle layer. And we'll provide the path. For runtime, we will use 3.7 because that is what that is the version of Python where we have downloaded it, and we'll say create. So we have our library layer created in Lambda. The next step, we will use this layer and we'll use it in the Lambda function. So I'm on the Lambda function page, and I have created a basic Lambda function F Oracle connection. Here I have imported the required libraries like JSON, Boto3 OS, and CX_Oracle, which we just downloaded and created a layer out of it. I have given some variables which I'm passing through as environment variables like host, port, SID, DB user, and DB password. And for your reference, what these values look like, I have given the details in the commented format. Then I have used the DSN DNS to create the DNS entry using the CS Oracle make DSN function. And then I'm connecting to the database using the .connect function and providing all the details which we have mentioned above. Once the connection is established, I am executing these statements, and we will see the output of these statements in the once we run the function. But first, we have to import a library, import a layer which we have created. So let's go with that. So here I'm adding the layer. What we can also do, we can just take the ARN of the layer and use it here. Otherwise, what we have to do, we have to go to the custom layer. We have to select the layer and then the version, or other ways to provide the ARN. It verifies the details and then click add. So we can see that layer has been successfully added. Now we can go and test our function. So it is successful, and we can see the data extracted by querying the Oracle database. So it provides us the countries, their respective continents or regions, the GDP, and the year in which the GDP was calculated. And if we see the query, we are arranging it in the descending order. So the country with the highest GDP comes first, and then the next country. As it is Oracle database, we can execute multiple different queries to see the data, and we will quickly check few of those queries. So we can use a filter and just get the countries related to one particular region or continent. So this provides me the data for all the countries from the Europe region. We can also have filters where we are comparing the result or comparing the GDP, which is greater than some amount. Sorry, it was not executed properly. So now it is deployed. Now run it. Okay, so we can see the GDP, all those countries which has GDP greater than the particular value. Now we are getting data from all the regions. Earlier it was only from the Europe because that's what our query was. And we can also have multiple filters added to our query. So here I'm saying a GDP greater than some particular value and from the region of Asia. So we got results for China, Japan, and India because those are the three countries from Asia having GDP higher than the filter or the value we have provided. So in this way, we can connect to the Oracle database and query the results, manipulate that result in Python to perform some other activities. Hope you liked the video. If you want any other video, please let me know in the comments and I'll try to provide those details in a new video. Thank you.